Do you currently have a Bank of America credit card and are you looking for a credit limit increase? If yes, I want you to stick around till the end of today's conversation. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Mr. Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. If you are doing as great and blessed as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's discussion, I want to speak to you about how to request a Bank of America credit limit increase. The first thing is, let's talk about eligibility. This is very important, okay? If you have used your Bank of America credit card responsibly, you have a great chance of getting a credit limit increase, okay? Because Bank of America treats the extra credit they are giving you as a reward. So a request for an increased limit is largely evaluated based on your client history with them and how you manage your account. So what I'm talking about here is that they are looking at your card use. They're looking at whether or not you have a multi-product relationship with them. Do you have a banking relationship with them? Because it's all about looking at your cash inflows and your cash outflows. So they're looking at your credit card and they're thinking about, okay, this person is actually spending, let's say, $5,000 and paying their balances every month. That's perfect. What about their cash inflows? Are they making good money? What are they depositing? So they're going to look at two sides of the balance sheet, both sides of the balance sheet, of your balance sheet, okay? So to ensure you are in good standing, you want to practice healthy financial habits, including planning out your card usage, spending within your means, and paying on time. Very important. Spend within your means. Pay attention to your credit utilization ratio. This is critical. And Bank of America does not explicitly state its eligibility guidelines regarding credit limit increase, but there are a few common factors that we have seen in our research that lenders such as Bank of America, Chase, Citi, Wells Fargo, and others look for when deciding whether to increase your credit limits. Okay, so what are those factors? First, you have responsible credit use. This is important. Do you make your credit card payments on time? Do you pay off your balances regularly? Or are you so close to maxing out your credit cards, right? Because again, credit utilization plays an important role. What is the length of account ownership? So generally speaking, it's a great idea to wait at least 6 months after opening a credit card before requesting a credit line increase. So the longer you wait, the better. So the longer you have been using your credit account responsibly, the more likely you will qualify for a Bank of America credit line increase. What about increased income? So if your income has recently gone up, any major credit card issuer, such as Bank of America, might be more willing to bump up your credit limit as well, right? That's why it's very important to let your credit card issuers know every time you get a raise or a new job. This is very important. Let's talk about the process itself. How Bank of America credit limit increase work. And you need to understand that. So the thing here is that Bank of America will actually base everything on your credits, on your credit usage, okay? But they will also pay attention to how often you use the card and what you spend the card on. In other words, they look at your expenditures. Are you using the card for online shopping? Are you using the card for training? Are you using the card for grocery shopping, for travel, whatever? They will analyze the categories on which you spend, okay? And so with time and proof of good payment history, increasing your Bank of America credit limit will come naturally. Okay. Now let's talk about the process itself. So what you have to do is that what you have to understand is that when we talk about increasing your limits, they look at your payment history. So when they get the request from you, they'll go back automatically to your payment history. They'll look at your credit history. They're not doing a hard pull. They don't need to because they have a lot of transactional data with them. So they have your usage with them. And they also pay attention to your credit score. When was your last credit score? They check your credit score. They're not doing a hard pull. They might do a soft pull depending on your situation. But they'll look at your credit score. Are you in the 700s? Are you in the 800s? Or are you right now in the 500s? Because they're not raising your limits if you are in the 500 or the 400 or even below, right? Because it's all about what? Risk mitigation. It's all about preventing any default risk. So credit card, credit card, credit card. It's important to understand that Bank of America will pay attention also to your hard credit inquiries. What I'm trying to say here is that if you're asking for, let's say, you're asking them to bump up your limits to by 10 grand, they will see if you have had recent credit inquiries. In other words, are you seeking a credit limit increase with your Bank of America card and or with other card issuers at the same time? Because this could actually tell them that you might be financially, like they want to know whether or not you are looking for cash, whether you have a cash flow problem or you're just okay with the limits you're asking for. What I'm trying to say is they want to make sure that you are financially healthy, that your liquidity situation hasn't changed, and you might be on the verge of, let's say, panicking when it comes to getting credit. So pay attention to your hard pulls. Any hard pulls that you are getting, any hard credit inquiries that you're getting, if you're applying for too many credit cards, this could be detrimental to your chances of being approved for a Bank of America credit limit increase. Let's talk about planning. What to do before you ask for a credit limit increase. This is important because this will help you actually put in place all the things that you need to before you even call Bank of America or you stop at a branch, okay? So before you contact Bank of America to request a credit limit increase, you want to ask yourself the following 3 questions. Only 3 questions. I'm not asking you 4 or 5 questions, only 3 questions. First, what is your current credit limit? You need to know. Okay, you can usually find your Bank of America credit limits by checking your monthly credit card statements or logging into your online account. So once you have that info, you want to take the time to compare your credit limits to your available credit. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I call your credit utilization, right? So if you have if you have very little available credit left, your chances of at a Bank of America credit line increase are much slimmer because they're looking at your CUR and if you have a high CUR, this is not good. We have said on this show and on other shows that it's better to have a CUR, a credit utilization ratio around 35% or less. That way you're telling Bank of America, hey, listen, I don't really need the money. I just want to have it just in case, right? Or I want to buy something, I want to make a large purchase and I need some cash, but I'm not desperate. This is the key word here, desperation. You're not desperate. And that's the first. So the first question is, what is your current credit limits? Second question is, how much credit do you want? You got to specify that because the Bank of America is not going to guess. In some cases, credit card issuers such as Bank of America will determine how much of a credit increase they want to offer you. In other cases, you'll be asked how much credit you want. So try to have an answer ready. Don't make your credit limit increase request too large. Okay, so let's say if you have a Bank of America credit card with a 5,000 or 7,000 limits, for example, it's better to ask for an increase to 7,000 or 10,000. Okay, don't ask for your credit limit to be bumped all the way to 15,000. The third question you need to ask is, what is your credit score? It's very important. It is a great idea to check your credit score before requesting a credit limit increase from Bank of America. And this is especially true if you are not sure whether or not you have good credit. Okay, and I'm not talking about just checking one credit bureau. You want to check all 3. You want to find out about your credit score on TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. That way you know if there is a discrepancy or if things are fine, if things are aligned, if there is harmony, what we call it, if there is a credit score synergy across all 3 bureaus. This is important, okay? And so if there are discrepancies, you want to fix them before you contact Bank of America. It's all about making sure that you present yourself in the most proper way to Bank of America. So you can go to a website called annualcreditreport.com to request a free copy of your credit bureau, your credit report from TransUnion, Equifax, or Experian. You could also sign up for services such as Credit Karma, okay, Wallet Hub, NerdWallet to get free copies of your credit report. That's perfect. Now let me give you here the steps, the step-by-step you need. There is some methodology you need to follow. Okay, there are two ways to request a higher credit limit with Bank of America. You can do this online on their website or over the phone. Now you can also, they don't want to say it, but you could also do it at a branch. Now Bank of America doesn't publicize this option because they don't want a bunch of credit card holders to come to their branch and bother workers there. But the easiest way in our view is just to have a conversation with someone, a live person at a branch. Okay, but for the purposes of this show, we just focus on what Bank of America has said publicly. They want you to apply online or over the phone. So the thing here for the phone, if you have an online account with Bank of America, you want to log into your account and you want to select request a credit line increase. So this option should be located under the card details section of your account summary. So if you don't see the option to request a credit line increase, you might not be eligible for one at this time. This is why I'm just saying sometimes it's better to be proactive and go to a branch. You can also call the number on the back of your Bank of America credit card and ask for a higher credit limit. Be prepared to provide income information and the reason why you are requesting additional credit. Okay, in some cases, you might be able to get a higher credit limit with Bank of America without having to ask. Because the thing here is that, like many other credit card issuers, the bank will regularly issue automatic credit limit increases to their most creditworthy cardholders. This is why you want to make sure you use the card responsibly so you can be part of that group of creditworthy cardholders. And if you are eligible for an automatic increase, you may receive a notification via email or through your online account. Okay, this is something you can do. You have to go to the management page where you can see all the info there. So steps to take to request a Bank of America credit card limit increase so you want to have your Bank of America credit card in hand, signing to your Bank of America online banking account, reset your password if needed. You want to locate your credit card account by matching the available numbers to those on your card. Very important. Go to your account summary. You want to locate the card details section. Request a credit request. You want to select the request a credit line increase option. Provide the requested information, which may include current employment and income information. If it says you are not eligible for an online credit line increase, you'll need to move to the phone request option or go to a branch. Now let's do the phone request option. So to request a Bank of America credit line increase by phone, you want to look at the customer service number on the back of your credit card. Be prepared to provide personal, identifying, and qualifying information. For example, especially information that you need to access your email or text confirmation, your SMS. You want to cycle through the phone 3 options until you reach the appropriate line, wait on hold or request a callback, verify personal account information, make your request increase, and obtain verification and details on when the new limit will be determined or confirmed. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks. So we are still having a conversation about how to request a Bank of America limit increase. Now let's talk about the impact. It's important to have this in mind. How can a credit limit increase affect your credit score? So as long as you don't increase your spending along with your limit and keep making payments on time, your credit score will not be hurt by the change. That's the general assertion, and this is what we have seen. In fact, a higher limit could help because it can lower your overall credit utilization ratio, which is, as you know, an important factor in calculating your credit score, right? Bank of America also uses a soft pull, which does not hurt your score, to approve the increase. And you could hurt your score and create stress, however, if a higher limit leads to overspending and then struggling to pay off the debt. Okay, so you have to understand that a credit limit increase can be helpful only when used responsibly. I've said this time and again, responsible use of the card is important. Bank of America is not actually trapping you. They're not really tricking you by giving you a higher limit. It's your own action that will determine. It's your own responsible use or irresponsible use of the card that will determine whether or not you have a huge you use whether you see a huge impact on your credit score. Okay, and we have to talk about timing. When can you request a credit limit increase from Bank of America? Based on we've seen in our research that there are three times that make a request successful. First, new job or raise. So the bank knows that you have an adequate income and a job, so you're able to pay off your debt, so they're comfortable raising your limits. But you have to let them know though. And if you have direct deposit with Bank of America, that's even better because they can see the cash inflows. So new job or a raise at your current job. If you have good credit, okay, so they will look at your your credit score, and if everything is fine, they will bump you up. And the third element is if you have a great payment history. So excellent payment history will contribute to quick approval or credit limit increase, not just credit limit increase request, not just at Bank of America, but also at other banks. So this is something you need to remember. So remember that a credit limit increase in some cases can result in a hard inquiry on your credit report. If you have recently made other credit inquiries, this could hurt your credit score. So the best way to determine if Bank of America will make a hard pull on your credit with a credit line increase request is to ask first. This is why I want you to go to the branch or over the phone. You want to ask first so that you're not surprised. Let me talk to you about rejection. So anytime you talk about requesting something, you better be ready of being rejected, right? That's just part of life. So what do you do if your Bank of America limit increase is denied? Well, this might happen for a number of reasons. If your account is new or you recently received a credit line increase, you will probably be turned down. Okay? Usually, credit card companies such as Bank of America, Chase, or Citi or others will grant an increase on an annual basis, though there are no absolutes. So your request could also be rejected if you have a low credit score, if you earn insufficient income, you don't use your card often, make mostly minimum payments, or have been past due on credit accounts. Because if you make insufficient income or you don't use your card often, why would they approve your line increase? You have to understand, for them it's money. It's a money making machine. So if you're not using your card, then you don't need. If they give you 10 grand and you don't use the card, why would they give you 15 grand or 20 grand? And Bank of America will provide a note explaining why an increase was not approved. So the idea is to help cardholders understand where and how they can improve to qualify for an increase in the future. Okay. So the thing here is that if you are ultimately denied a Bank of America credit line increase, I want you to do a few things. Here are some options to help you get the additional credit you need. First, you want to wait 6 months, then make another request. This will help tremendously, okay? You want to request a credit limit increase with a different card issuer. So if it doesn't work with the Bank of America, okay, that's not a problem. Try with Chase, try with Wells Fargo, try with Citi, okay? Apply for a new credit card. Sometimes the best way to increase your overall credit limit is by applying for a new credit card, okay? Or you can consider a balance transfer credit card. If your Bank of America credit card balance is so high that you are worried about going over your credit card limits, you might want to apply for a balance transfer card. This could be a great possibilities. And one thing we have seen is that the best balance transfer credit cards offer a 0% introductory APR on balance transfers for 15 to 18 months, which can help you pay down your outstanding credit card balances without the burden of added interest. So this could be a possibility that you want to study. Let me talk to you about a few considerations that you need to be aware of. What to consider when requesting a higher credit limits. And those are important not just for those who have poor or fair credit, but also for those who have excellent credit. Before you request a Bank of America credit card limit increase, you want to consider the pros and cons, okay? Because this move has pros and cons. The request could actually lower your credit score. So Bank of America could do, I've said this before, they could do a hard pull or a soft pull. It depends on the situation. It depends on your transactional history with them, okay? And if you have a hard pull because of the request, each hard pull on your credit has a potential to lower your credit score by a few points, 5 or 10 points, okay? So if your credit score is currently hovering on the border of good and fair credit, you might want to avoid any unnecessary credit increase. Another thing is a higher credit limit could improve your credit score. So why? Because it's going to lower your credit utilization ratio even further. And this has a great impact on your credit score. So 30%, think about it, 30% of your FICO credit score comes from your credit utilization ratio. That's a huge factor. That's a huge criterion. So this is good. So your credit utilization, your CUR, as it is often called, compares your available credit to your current debt. So if you increase your credit limits without increasing your debts, your credit score could go up. And a Bank of America credit line increase could tempt you into new debt. This is something you need to be really aware of. So don't let your new credit turn into debt you can't not pay off. So if you want to increase your credit limits in order to make more purchases on your credit card, make sure you have a plan to pay off those purchases as soon as possible. Otherwise, you could find yourself in serious credit card debt. Okay, very, very important. Credit card. We love them. Sometimes we hate them, but we can't live without them, right? So if you want more available credit for any reason, you can request a Bank of America credit line increase through your online accounts or by calling the number on the back of your credit card. If you are able to go to a branch, have a conversation with a live person, that's even better. Okay, just remember that if you increase your limits, you could boost your credit score. This could help you build credit, but do not overspend. Okay, folks, this is the end of today's conversation. I was talking to you about Bank of America credit limit increases, how to do things step by step, and I spoke about eligibility, the process, the planning, the steps you need to follow, the impact on your credit score, what you do in terms of rejection, and a few other considerations. Thank you so much for your attention, folks. I will speak to you another time, but until then, remember, stay marvelous.